Welcome back, cultivators. Today we dive into one of the most explosive moments in battle through the heavens. After enduring hundreds of reincarnations under the ancient Bodhi tree, Xiao Yan finally ascends to Nine-Star Dou Zun, shocking everyone present. With a single move, he crushes Soul Jade, humiliates Hun Yu, and even dares to stand against a semi-saint powerhouse of the Soul Clan. This episode is packed with legendary battles, shocking reveals, and pure hype. So sit back as we relive Xiao Yan's rise to dominance. And before we jump in, I just want to thank you all for the amazing support. We're getting closer every day, so please help me reach 1,000 subscribers. It really means a lot, and it keeps me motivated to bring you more epic Donghua recaps like this one. Xiao Yan's journey had already surpassed anything ordinary cultivators could imagine. After enduring 100 cycles of reincarnation beneath the ancient Bodhi tree, his strength finally surged to the legendary Nine-Star Dou Zun. And in a single move, he crushed the Soul Jade and left the second heavenly venerable of the semi-saint Soul Clan gravely injured. When Xiao Yan opened his eyes once again under the Bodhi tree, his aura had transformed completely. His cultivation had soared straight to Nine-Star Dou Zun. The watching crowd could hardly believe it, their faces filled with shock. But fortune didn't stop there. The Bodhi tree itself granted him countless Bodhi seeds. These seeds, said to help a Dou Zun step directly into the realm of a Dou Sheng, instantly sparked greed from both the Soul Clan and the Sky Demon Phoenix Clan. Soul Jade, the 8-star Dou Zun of the Soul Clan, stepped forward demanding Xiao Yan hand them over, threatening him with endless suffering if he refused. But Xiao Yan only smiled faintly. If those seeds could create a Dou Sheng, then handing them away would be nothing short of inviting disaster upon himself. With calm defiance, he looked at Hun Yu and said lightly, "If you want them, then come and take them, if you have the ability." Hun Yu's jade-like face instantly darkened, killing intent flashing in his eyes. He despised Xiao Yan's unhurried composure, as if nothing could shake him. Mocking laughter escaped his lips, but inside, he grew uneasy. Xiao Yan, however, wasn't fazed. He suddenly stepped to the side, throwing a fierce punch into seemingly empty space. The blazing force distorted the void itself, and in the next breath, Hun Yu's hidden form was forced out, stumbling several steps back. Hun Yu's expression turned uglier. He had never expected Xiao Yan to pierce through his secret movements so easily. But Xiao Yan only advanced further, releasing a tidal wave of aura that swept across the entire battlefield. Many weaker cultivators immediately struggled to breathe, their chests weighed down by suffocating pressure. From afar, the neutral onlookers trembled in awe. Now they understood why Xiao Yan could remain so calm. His cultivation had already reached a level beyond imagination. Still, Hun Yu wasn't ready to accept defeat. Gritting his teeth, he activated his clan mark, his aura surging violently until he stood as an 8th-turn Dou Zun. But Xiao Yan merely shook his head. Not enough, his calm gesture seemed to say. Angered to the point of madness, Hun Yu unleashed his strongest strike. Black mist surged into a palm print, shrill cries echoing as distorted faces of souls twisted within it. This was the Soul Clan's feared killing move, the soul-destroying palm. Yet Xiao Yan remained utterly composed. He raised his own hand and mirrored the technique. With a casual strike, Hun Yu's soul-destroying palm shattered like brittle glass, vanishing into nothing. Hun Yu's eyes widened in disbelief. His proudest attack had been dismissed as if it were nothing at all. Xiao Yan's mocking words followed, belittling the so-called mighty methods of the Soul Clan. Humiliated and furious, Hun Yu countered desperately, conjuring countless black mist beasts to resist the oncoming tide. But Xiao Yan simply summoned a massive flaming hand that blanketed the sky. The fire surged downward, evaporating the mist beasts in an instant, until the colossal flames smashed into Hun Yu. His protective Dou Qi collapsed at once. Blood sprayed from his lips as he was sent flying, heavily wounded. Gasps erupted from the onlookers, many silently thanking their stars they hadn't provoked Xiao Yan. With a swift motion, Xiao Yan struck again, his fists shaking the air as he sent several Soul Clan and Sky Demon Phoenix experts crashing to the side. Watching Hun Yu's miserable state, Jiufeng's face turned pale with dread. Just as Xiao Yan was about to completely eliminate Hun Yu and the others, the entire space trembled violently. The ancient Bodhi tree itself shuddered, its colossal trunk humming as the very ground beneath it began to liquefy. Slowly, the sacred tree sank downward, disappearing from the world's surface. Cries of regret spread among the crowd. The Bodhi tree was a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and many would never see it again. But Xiao Yan alone knew the truth. Deep within his heart floated a crystal-green Bodhi heart, the true essence of the sacred tree. As the Bodhi tree vanished completely, people finally began to relax. That was when the space around them suddenly twisted again. Invisible power locked the entire area, sealing it like an unbreakable cage. Xiao Yan's cold gaze swept across the battlefield, settling on Jiufeng. Behind her, a colossal phantom of the sky phoenix unfurled its wings, spreading across the heavens. Its oppressive energy had completely sealed every trace of spatial fluctuation, cutting them off from outside contact. Jiufeng's heart trembled under Xiao Yan's stare. Desperate, she shouted at Hun Yu. "Why are you still standing there? Do it now." A sinister sneer spread across Hun Yu's face. Crushing a scroll in his hand, a wave of spatial energy burst forth, flowing directly into Jiufeng's body. With that power, Jiufeng tore open the void, and a dark spatial channel appeared. From its depths came a suffocating pressure, the unmistakable aura of a semi-saint. Faces turned pale across the battlefield. A skeletal palm extended from the crack, followed by a coughing voice. Slowly, an emaciated old man in gray robes stepped out, leaning on a bone staff. His sunken eyes glowed with eerie green light, and his presence alone sent shivers down spines. Soul Jade bowed and quickly explained, this youth, Xiao Yan, had reached the peak of Nine-Star Dou Zun and carried a Bodhi seed. He begged the elder to take action. The old man's lips curled into a withered smile. He introduced himself as Gu Yu, the second heavenly venerable of the Soul Palace, though he preferred to be called the Gu Yu Saint. His gaze fixed hungrily on Xiao Yan. He had long heard of him, and more importantly, he was fascinated by Xiao Yan's fusion of strange flames. Gu Qingyang and the others tried desperately to use their own spatial scrolls to call for aid, but the Sky Phoenix Phantom barred all fluctuations. They were trapped. Facing the crushing presence of a semi-saint, Xiao Yan's mind turned grim. The gap was enormous. If he wanted to survive, he would need to refine his Bodhi heart as soon as possible and step into the realm of the Douxing. Spreading his azure-red bone wings, Xiao Yan positioned himself in front of Gu Yu, whispering to Suner to buy him time. Suner stepped forward without hesitation. The clan mark on her forehead shone, golden flames dancing in her eyes. Her aura flared, dazzling and divine. Gu Yu only sneered, remarking on her ancient divine bloodline. Though he admitted her potential was remarkable, he believed she was far too weak to face him now. In a flash, he vanished and reappeared before her, striking with his palm. Suner was forced back several steps, but she quickly regained her stance. With intricate hand seals, golden flames erupted from her body, blazing like a miniature sun that burned even the very air. At that moment, Gu Yu's smile finally faltered. His voice quivered as he recognized the fire before him. The Golden Emperor burning sky flame, ranked fourth among all heavenly flames, the inherited fire of the ancient clan. The fact that Suner had subdued it left him visibly shaken. Even Xiao Yan was momentarily stunned. The Golden Emperor flame was extraordinary. Even with his fusion of 4 heavenly flames, victory against it wasn't guaranteed. But there was no time to hesitate. Xiao Yan centered himself, beginning the dangerous process of fusing his flames once again, while the destructive aura around him grew heavier. Up above, Gu Yu raised his bone staff. Black mist erupted, swirling into the shape of a colossal black skeleton 1,000 feet tall. Its presence was like an evil god descending, freezing the souls of everyone watching. This was the Dark Skeleton King, a terrifying summon only a semi-saint could command. The monstrous skeleton lunged forward, its palm tearing through the void towards Suner. She countered, a radiant halo of golden fire bursting outward to block the strike. The clash of extreme heat and soul-freezing cold produced a shrill crack as white mist sprayed in every direction. With a single gesture, Gu Yu's skeletal hand crushed the flame halo to pieces, forcing Suner to retreat. Still, she didn't falter. Her mission wasn't victory, it was delay. Gritting her teeth, she shouted, "Golden Emperor burning sky formation." Dozens of golden flames rained from above, weaving together into a blazing pillar that sealed the black skeleton inside. Thunder roared as its bone palms struck the golden barrier. Under the sacred fire's searing light, the black mist burned away, and even the skeleton's massive frame began to fade into nothingness. Gu Yu's withered hands formed strange seals, and at once countless streams of black mist erupted from his body. They weren't ordinary mist, each wisp was made of tormented souls, and when they touched Suner's golden flames, they detonated like bombs, scattering her blazing sea of fire. Taking advantage of the opening, the massive black skeleton shrank rapidly. Though its size decreased, its form became far more condensed, radiating a chilling, suffocating aura. A twisted laugh echoed as the truth became clear. Gu Yu had merged his very soul and skeleton into one abomination. Sun'er's eyes narrowed. The place where Gu Yu's body once stood was now just an empty shell. The skeletal monstrosity suddenly appeared at the edge of her fiery formation. Its bony fingers traced lightly across the flame barrier, and to her shock, a crack spread instantly. In the next moment, the entire fire array collapsed in an explosive burst. Sun'er gave a faint smile despite the setback. She had bought enough time, and that was all that mattered. Without hesitation, she retreated to Xiao Yan's side. By then, Xiao Yan's palm was already glowing with terrifying energy. Resting there was a fire lotus, delicate as a crafted jewel, yet spinning with destructive power so fierce that the surrounding space twisted violently. The black skeleton let out a low rasp, recognizing it at once. This was no ordinary flame technique, but the fusion of Xiao Yan's heavenly fires. Gu Yu, the bone nether saint, tried to intimidate him with words, reminding him of the insurmountable gulf between a Dou Zun and a semi-saint. But Xiao Yan only sneered. He slowly raised his palm, the five-colored lotus spinning faster and faster, until its aura made even the strongest tremble. He glanced back and warned Sun'er to fall back. The fire lotus's explosion was so overwhelming that even he himself couldn't completely control it. Sensing its terrifying might, Sun'er didn't hesitate, retreating swiftly with Gu Qingyong and the others. The bone nether saint roared, exhaling black mist as he unleashed his ultimate defense, the 10,000 souls bone armor. Countless spirits screamed as they merged into a suit of armor covered in jagged fragments, every piece etched with hideous faces. Their agony combined into one colossal grimace, glaring down at the battlefield. But it was too late. With a flick of Xiao Yan's finger, the exquisite lotus shot forth. Wherever it passed, the very fabric of space split apart, leaving behind jagged black cracks. There was no thunderous boom at first, only a suffocating silence filled with the aura of death. Then, the lotus struck. The impact froze the world for a single breath, followed by a cataclysmic explosion that shattered the heavens. A firestorm engulfed the battlefield, tearing the ground into deep fissures and scattering space itself into fragments. The phantom of the Sky Phoenix, summoned by Jiufeng, was obliterated in the blast, and Jiufeng himself spat blood, his face twisting in despair. When the flames finally calmed, everyone's gaze darted to the center of the storm. There, the black skeleton still stood tall. The Soul Clan warriors cheered in relief, but their joy didn't last long. The armor on the skeleton's surface began to crack, splintering apart before exploding into fragments. The once mighty body beneath was riddled with fissures, its eerie green light fading. And then, with one final gust of wind, the black skeleton crumbled into ashes. In the distance, the bone nether saint himself coughed blood, his face pale as he staggered back to consciousness. Despite his injuries, his sinister voice echoed coldly. Even wounded, he swore to take Xiao Yan's life. But before he could act, a sudden golden light flared across the sky. Xiao Yan's figure transformed into a golden giant, his fist slamming directly into Gu Yu's chest. The semi-saint staggered backward, his composure in tatters. Just as Gu Yu was about to counterattack, the void itself split open. From the spatial crack stepped a familiar figure, Yao Lao. His calm voice carried sharp ridicule, mocking Gu Yu for shamelessly bullying the younger generation despite his lofty semi-saint status. Xiao Yan's eyes lit up in surprise and relief. His teacher had arrived just in time. Yao Lao smiled faintly, explaining that he had rushed here out of worry. Soon after, another figure descended, Elder Tongxian. Two semi-saints now stood side by side, their combined presence pressing heavily on Gu Yu. The elder's face twisted, growing darker and uglier as he weighed his chances. In the end, Gu Yu could only retreat, his threat lingering in the air. Elder Tongxian returned to the ancient realm with Sun'er and the others, while Xiao Yan remained with Yao Lao, preparing for the retreat they both knew was necessary. For everyone who witnessed this battle, one thing became clear. Today's clash was not the end, it was only the beginning. In the shadows, an even greater storm was gathering, and Xiao Yan would soon face trials fiercer than ever before.